Look, I might have just woken up. But yo, Graffiti Studio just came out with a new reference pack. 360 turnaround. Over 1,000 images in this one. Follow the link in the description for this pack that I'm going to be using for some life drawing using the gesture drawing app. 5 minutes, going to keep them small. Just do this as a warm up. I'm using this brush, one of my favorite brushes. It's in my brush pack. It's free. Link in the description. This is the first drawing of the day. Just kind of woke up and just kind of like loosening up my hand. I'm not really concerned with anatomy or perspective or detail. It's just like I need to kind of get the flow going. I know there are some people who think that even the first warm-ups have to be a very carefully calculated, mapped out, blah blah blah, but yo, loosen up, I think. In fact, that's what I would demand if it were my class. And this is my class, for it is my channel. I haven't had my coffee yet. I usually don't drink coffee right away in the morning. I usually wait a couple hours, then I get some. So as I mentioned before in some other videos, that Graffiti Studio, they have some really great reference packs, and they are a concept art studio, so they kind of know what they're looking for poses and academic studies, lighting, and dynamics. Even like they have like a pose pack for like splash art, you know, jumping poses, foreshortened things like weapons and arms. Arms coming at you. Cool. Now, so yeah, if you'd like to draw along, I like to keep the reference small right here, so that I'm not caught up with the details, especially early on. And yeah, if you want the whole pack, definitely check out the link in the description. Oh, see, that stick is way off. That should be... Or, you know, the thing is I pushed the pelvis forward too much, which kind of dragged the rest of the body and the legs forward too much, but that's fine. We'll go with that and call it a style. Yeah. It's my style. That seems to be the case. Make a mistake, call it your style. It's a feature, not a bug. Oh wow, my leg's really bad. Like, what is that foot? Okay, it should be lower. Yeah. There we go. That's better. Big toe. And all the other toes. Let's get that rounded a bit. Alright, now I'm getting too caught up in details. I'm noticing, because I've been doing this kind of gesture drawing with these reference packs, that I always draw the lower half, the legs area, way too long. At least compared to the reference. Because it could be intentional, but it's definitely not intentional. I think it's just a habit. Maybe I'll embrace the habit and just roll with it. I'm gonna push the foot back a little more to create more tension, because I think the foot, let's see, it aligns that back foot. If here's the head, this foot kind of just aligns directly with it. It's a little bit further back, but you can't really see it right now. But I want to exaggerate that and push it back further. And if you're looking to learn stylization or exaggeration, look at things like that. Like, look at where things are and ask yourself, can I push this one way or the other? And go too far just to see what happens. And by doing that, you start to develop a sense of what you can and can't do. You know, because you can push something too far and it just doesn't make sense anymore. But hey, maybe that's something you want to do too. So I don't know. Yeah, that's what I would suggest. I should have drawn the stick after this leg. Okay, that's fine. Oh, next. Okay, cool. Move this aside. New layer. Nice curve there for the back. Got the latissimus dorsi coming in like that into the back muscles. Got all the muscles connected to the scapula here. Got the deltoids, rear delt, side delt showing pretty well here. And tricep, bicep, blah, blah, blah. Now we got the frontal area, got the obliques. I'm getting caught in the details. Yeah. But, you know, it's warming up. You don't have to do one. If you warm up by just zooming into an area and just drawing that carefully, that's fine. The point of warming up isn't to do a perfect drawing or an intentional drawing in any way, but rather to get your motor controls with your hand kind of synchronized. Hand-eye coordination, all that stuff. This area where the head is, or the face is, it makes a really clear triangle. Like, it's very, very obvious to see. If you could look for shapes like that, so you can just kind of shorthand and put that in as a placeholder. That way later you can go in and add the actual details. But if you can get the basic shape down, everything else will fall into place more easily. And I think I drew it too far to the right. Let's move this way. Cool. Okay, so here, trying to like nail where this arm is going to go, you could actually look at the triangle in the negative space here. So let's do that real quick. Because I know that if I just look at this triangle, let me pause this real quick. If I just look at that triangle, I know that the left side of the triangle is straight up and down. This right side of the triangle is not straight horizontal, but it's actually at an angle. And it's okay if I kind of go a little too high or a little too low, as long as it's not this high or like that off, you know. And so if I can kind of get that angle, and then I look at this angle, I know it's not you know, too far this way. It's kind of at this shape, right? And so just by doing that, you can kind of take a kind of like visual shortcut to placing where things need to be. Oh, resume. Yeah. And it saves you a lot of time. Instead of trying to map everything out by building the whole structure of the body from the ground up. That's fine for now. I made it look like he's about to take a picture, so I'll put a camera here. Or a video camera from the old days. Cool. So here, I'm going to keep in mind, don't draw the legs too big or too long. Yeah, because look at that. It's taking up so much of the real estate compared to this. All right. So I guess what I'll do is look at this shape. So this is kind of like it starts as a cube, but it's like you take this line and make it straight down. So let's go ahead and just draw that shape in there. That'll tell us. So yeah, now we can see that this elbow kind of lines up with the knee. You could say, oh yeah, the knee's right there. Ah, all right. That helps. And same thing with this shape. It's almost a square. It's like a square like this, but then there's an offshoot like that. So let's put that square in and put that offshoot. And that gives us where our other knee is going to be. And same thing here. There's a very clear triangle in the negative space there. It kind of does this kind of angle. That and then this. So let's just go ahead and lay in that first shape. Now, I can overshoot and probably make this too low, which kind of results in my common habit, making the legs too long. Not too small, but too long. But in this case, this should be helping avoid that. There's a tiny little triangle in there too. Cool. I'll just sneak that in there. This shape. So, like, and let me just pause real quick. One way to think about the different approaches to life drawing or figure drawing, like you see me down here constructing things, right? Like literally with the negative shapes, and I'm concerned with 2D elements to inform where the design should be. But over here, you saw that I kind of just was more gestural about it and kind of just connecting the lines and letting that flow. I think a mix of understanding those things is kind of really beneficial to have in your tool bag. You don't want to only do that way and then only do this way. I mean, if you're happy with it, by all means, go for it. But I think you can really just sharpen so many more tools by exploring different possibilities. Oh. Running out of time. 30 seconds. I'm just going to put a triangle for the foot there. I made it too high, too low. Might give myself extra time on this one. Yeah, I'm just going to pause it. Ugh, it's paused right in front of where I want to look. Wait, what if I... Ah, nice. Okay. So right now I'm looking at this negative shape. It's like a triangle, but then it has a shape coming off like that. So triangle like this, and then another shape. You can fit that like right in here. You know, I drew it too big here, but that's the idea. You can also see where the foot actually stops as compared to the knee. So this line is too far out because you can see a triangle fitting in there almost vertically here like that. And the foot kind of just goes a little bit further. Top 6 Secret Life Drawing Hacks by Ahmed Al-Duri. Click this video now. I should have said top 10. That's why my channel isn't popping off right now. The problem with this approach for me is that it's so constructive that it kind of looks You know, I prefer like the loose gestural stuff where it feels like you're literally your signature, right? So these are like signature lines that I like to do and all that. Anyway, okay, so I'm not gonna draw that pose. That's That's pretty epic. But we've drawn 2 side or back poses already. Let's see if there's a front pose. That's cool. Yeah, we'll go with this one. All right, so I'm gonna draw it really small first. So we have shoulder line, hip line is more parallel to the ground. The arms or this arm's going straight up and down. This one's making a triangle. You have a triangle or diamond shape for the collarbone and trapezius muscle, the shoulders. The head kind of just rests right above that straight line there. Legs are doing something like that. And this leg is not perfectly straight down. It's actually angled inward this way to kind of help maintain the center of gravity for the body. So it has to have a sort of load-bearing position that can hold weight. And right here, what I'm going to do is look for the negative space here. So this kind of, it's a like rectangle square at the top, but then it offshoots to this like triangle at the end. So I'm just going to do a rectangle first, and then do a bit of a triangle at the bottom of it. Cool. We'll just take that as our guide. Yeah, just kind of showing multiple ways of drawing from reference or from life, because these same approaches work with if you're just drawing on newsprint with charcoal or something. Alright, I don't like this approach as much. Like, I definitely prefer that first approach, but you know, this is definitely another way to do it. I think this approach helps, I think, with a bit of accuracy, because when you're zoomed out, it's easier to see if things are not aligned. Whereas if you're zoomed in too closely, you kind of are unable to see the whole picture of how shapes are relating to each other. I don't know why the new Photoshop keeps blinking like that. Stop it. And it only does it when I'm in full screen mode. It's like, can't they just make a good photo, like a good update? The old versions of Photoshop are just fine, you know, like, sure, they don't have all these like cool features like symmetry or whatever, but they don't have these weird quirky things where you have to enable Windows Ink and uninstall a bunch of stuff. I'm overreacting. That's fine. Just keep drawing. Alright, now I'm hungry. Maybe I'll make some avocado toast. Steven Zapata showed me a really dang good recipe when he was hanging out here. You know, you make scrambled eggs or a hard-boiled egg, and you pretty much make eggamole. It's like guacamole. Kind of mush the avocado, then you add the eggs to it. I never saw that coming, and it was the most delicious thing ever. And it goes great with some espresso or coffee, latte. Oh god, look at that deltoid. It's huge. Yeah, so like, yeah, that's just too big. All right, cool. Wait, that was 5 minutes already? Hold up. I guess if I'm talking, it kind of takes longer to do things. I'm explaining it as I do it. Just gonna get that core shadow on the forehead there. The one on the cheekbone. Gonna put a quick triangle for the nose. A line for the mouth. I'm just gonna shade that in. I made it too small. Actually, it's pretty close. Doesn't matter. Maybe I should just select the 10-minute option instead of making these 5-minute ones, because I had to pause it for the last two. Okay, so I'm gonna speed this up. And here, instead of like trying to like look at what is actually going on, I'm just going to use my mental library of what I know of, you know, the leg anatomy, the quads. So I know like right here, I guess when you're looking at the reference, it's pretty much a straight line. But I know that from studying anatomy, you know, you can exaggerate that quadricep muscle, that teardrop shape going up towards where it's connecting to the anterior superior iliac spine of the hips. The hip muscle? The hip muscle. No, the hip bone. Trying to sound fancy with anatomy and just screw it right up. Shame, shame, shame. All right, almost done. Lay that in. And I might be asking, what's the point of life? No, what's the point of studies like this? Even if you're practiced and you think you've made it or something, because you know, I think it's important to always be a student, always like have the world inform your studies, whether it's life drawing, looking at the sky, painting clouds. There's always something new to offer. Like there's always something new that I'm picking up from doing a life drawing session like this. So yeah, really important. Cool. Just deleted that layer in the back. That head is definitely way too small. Sad. Just gonna make it bigger real quick. If you do free transform and you hold Alt and you drag this little anchor and put it somewhere, and then you hold Shift while you're Shift and Alt when you're transforming from the corners, it'll go out from that position. That way I can keep it connected to the neck there. Did it change at all? If you hit Control Shift T, it'll repeat that same transform. Still I think too small, a bit too small, but that's fine. All right, we'll do a couple more. Let's look for an interesting dynamic pose. And by dynamic, I mean like some nice angles in it. Yo, that's pretty cool. All right, that's the one we're doing. Let me just pause that while I make some room where I could just turn all these layers off. No, not the background. Okay, cool. This one I actually am going to go a little bit bigger because he's kind of small in that photo. I mean, there's so much real estate around him. Okay. Anyway. So resumed. The first thing I see, I look for the easiest shape to draw first. Then I can build off of that sometimes. So it's that kind of curve shape. I know it's going to go down like that. We got the arm coming in like this, going up like that. And this is definitely a more gestural approach. Even the gesture doesn't always have to be like with the arms or what the actual physical body is doing, but you can see the gesture of the outside silhouette. It kind of goes like this, dips in, then out, then slightly in and out again. So that's part of your arsenal as well. I'm probably going to just draw over this on a new layer and lower the opacity on this one. Someone's texting my phone and it's upsetting me. Alright, now I know the leg is too long because it's been a habit that I keep forgetting I'm doing, but I'm going to roll with it and keep it there. Okay, I'm not going to let myself shade or put details. I just want the basic outline of what's going on. Gotta be quick about this. Ain't got time. I've definitely simplified the hand with just the basic triangles that I'm seeing. They're basically the same thing I was explaining earlier with the other body parts. If you just do that a lot slowly, it'll be easy to do it quickly like that. And that's pretty much like, I don't know, a very necessary thing to learn when you're, you know, quote unquote, painting or speed painting or trying to learning how to paint fast or communicate ideas quickly. It's finding shortcuts like that so that you can simplify the viewing experience to just the basic shapes. I said I wouldn't shade, but that needs it. That's a huge head. I was going to give an excuse, but I'm just out of practice, maybe. No, don't shade. Draw. I think I function better when there's time limits on things. I think that's why I performed the way I did at the digital art battle in Japan. I was just kind of at ease because I'm like, I mean, I wasn't stressed, but I was feeling this weird kind of ease that like, oh, well, I don't have time to freak out about trying to be a perfectionist. I just have to knock something out as a painting in 20 minutes, and I kind of won, so that was cool. All right, now I can throw in some more shade. Throw in shade. I'm laughing at my own joke right now. Ha, ha, ha. Wait. All right. Let's see how it looks without the gesture. Yeah, you know, I like it. It's kind of cool. Let's get rid of the gesture. We go again. Yeah, it's a cool one. So we got the shoulder line, the hip line, leg, the other leg. So this approach I'm doing just pretty much a basic stick figure of the character. You got the rib cage in there. It's a bit of a construction. Then you have the, you can't really see it too clearly, but there's definitely the collarbone making a triangle like this, and then that gets completed with the diamond of the traps, the trapezius. line here. Gonna see that this knee lines up with that elbow right there. So that goes straight up. Hand is aligned with the head there, so we can kind of just lay in this triangle. Okay, that's where the head is. Alright, this elbow is, you can kind of triangulate this knee, that elbow, and that elbow. So it's kind of like that. Because we know that the elbow isn't directly straight up from the knee, it's just to the right of it. So you can find little tricks like that to triangulate your landmarks. Alright, that is 5. That's about 25 minutes of drawing. I'd say that's a pretty good warm-up. Let's take a look at them. Alright, cool. It can be fun to kind of arrange your life drawings into a sort of scene. Like you can kind of make this a pirate ship scene where these dudes are paddling and this dude's looking out at the other ships, or you got the captain here. Yeah, making up little stories after. That could be fun. But yeah, I think this was a pretty good warm-up. Got, you know, gesture. We have a more constructive approach here with these legs. And then for this one, I think I was just quiet because I was kind of in the zone without trying to talk about anything. Cool. Well, hope that was helpful. Definitely check out the Graphite Studio reference packs. Cool. Stick around for more. Thanks for watching.